Davey, another big one here at home. They're obviously coming off the back of a big result themselves last week. Thoughts towards it?
So it's going to be a difficult game. We went there, we managed to get 3 points, but it was a tough game, different challenge. And again, looking at this game going forward, I think they're all going to be big games now. I was speaking to the boys about it. I kind of keep saying the same things every week: big game, big game, big game. But when you're trying to win promotion, you're trying to win leagues, you're trying to finish as high as you possibly can, I think it just naturally turns into it's another big game. So difficult game of football. We're at home, so we've got to go into it fairly confident that we can pick the 3 points up. Boys have been magnificent to date, but I'm under no illusions how hard the game's going to be. They've got Big Oakley up top, who's an absolute handful, probably one of the better strikers in the league, to be honest. And then they kind of play off the second balls from him, so pretty direct going into it. They can play as well, but they've also got that, you can miss the press out by going direct into Oakley, and he generally gets on the first contact. So it's going to be a different challenge for us.
Don't want to touch on it too much, but Falkirk did get a man sent off early doors. Obviously kind of lost quite a few goals after that. Kilmarnock the following day lost Robbie Dees after 6 minutes or something like that. Went on the other side and picked up 3 points. How do you manage that sort of situation?
It's difficult. I think everybody just assumes sometimes when you're playing against 10 men it makes the game easier, but if you look at Kilmarnock one first and foremost, you look at that, it becomes harder because Kilmarnock are probably sitting in that mid to low block, so it gives them something to hang on to. Whereas Falkirk probably still tried to win the game of football, or they had to go and try and win the game of football. So Falkirk are very attack minded with John, so I don't think John deviates from how he wants to play football, which probably fell into the trap of Ayr United at home. But Falkirk 11 men, I think most teams, including myself by the way, most teams are going to find a really, really difficult game down at Somerset. I don't care who you are, 10 men, 11 men, it's a real difficult game of football. We came away for that one. In all honesty, if it was a draw, nobody would have batted an eyelid. If they'd nicked it, nobody had batted an eyelid, but we were the team that nicked it, but it wasn't a lot in the game.
Yep. Tomorrow sees the end of the second quarter. Happy with the return over those 9 games?
Be happier at 4:45 if we've got 3 points.
That puts us above the first quarter, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the first quarter we picked up 19 points. Kind of have set out at the start of the year, I think, to be there or be thereabouts, you're going to be getting 2 points. 2 points a game, so that's 18 points a quarter. So right now we're sitting bang on the 18 points a quarter, worst case scenario Saturday. But I think there's more to come. We've got 1 game to go and try and beat that, so that would take us up to 20 points, wouldn't it? And it was 19 in the first quarter. So I was really happy with the first quarter. I'm pretty happy with the second quarter, but we could have a really good quarter here if we can go on and try and pick 3 points up.
There is an ex-player playing for Ayr United just now that was here last season. Obviously you've coached them for a year, know their strengths, weaknesses, everything else. Do you kind of play off that? Or?
No, I think Mick's made Ayr United better, to be honest. He's had his injury problems to deal with this season, but I do think he's made Ayr United better. So kind of they've fluctuated between a 3 and a 4 at times, Ayr United this year, but I think with the centre halves they've now got available, they're more of a 3, which allows them to get 2 bodies further around the top end of the park, somebody playing in and around Oakley, which Dowd was doing previously. So I think Mick's made them better, he'll help them play a wee bit, so I think it's been a decent signing for Scott. But Scott had Mick at Fleetwood and Scott was at Aberdeen with Mick, so Scott probably knows Mick a lot better than myself, to be honest. He's had him. He had him as a manager at Fleetwood and he played with him as a player at Aberdeen.
Obviously we're into Christmas schedule week. How does that kind of affect training? Boys get a couple of days off? Or?
I've always, since that's probably 11 years at the club, but kind of been helped run the football department, so to speak, for maybe 9. I think we've always gave the boys Christmas Day off. We've gave them an extra day this year, 1 because of where we are in the league in terms of the points total, but 2, I think it's important, we've got a lot of boys that are from England. I think it's important that they can head down a day early, spend a wee bit of time with their family and then back up the road, ready to go again on the next training day. So I think that's important. We'll be on Christmas Eve. The boys are getting Christmas Day off. They're off a Thursday anyway, so I've kept that in the schedule, but I've gave them Christmas Day off. That allows them to travel home on Christmas Eve to spend it with their family, which I think there's a lot more benefit in that. I could have got them in Christmas Day for a 60-minute session. It's kind of a light session on the Wednesday anyway. Got them in for a 60-minute session, which we can probably elongate that session on the Tuesday and spend a wee bit more time in the detail Tuesday. So on a typical Tuesday would be morning pitch session, afternoon gym session. We'll probably maybe look at doing a double session on the Tuesday, which then allows them to get the Wednesday off. They would have been off the Thursday on the schedule anyway, and then back in the Friday.
Fair enough. Last one we touched up on was kind of Danny Wilson in terms of injury news. Are we closer to seeing him back in the squad?
Yeah, I don't think Danny's a million miles away. We just need to be careful on his return. I think he'd missed a wee bit of football since his last game with Queen's Park. Kind of came in here and I threw him into the deep end. Tweaked his calf, so there's probably a wee bit of conditioning work needs done. Danny's trained 80% of the last 2 sessions, so he'll do a wee bit today. Probably Saturday's maybe just a wee bit early for him, but again we've had a couple of issues with ourselves in terms of personal problems with a player, family issues and a wee bit of flu going about. So whether Danny makes the bench or not will be dependent on the other players who are available. All going well, he'll not be in the squad because we've got a full squad to pick from, but we might need to put him on the bench as a body that could go on and do 10-15 minutes for us, depending on how the squad gets through today, to be honest. But he's not a million miles away.
So fully unscathed then, so no kind of repercussions from Tuesday night's victory?
No, nothing at all. Nothing at all. I'm trying to think. No, we got most of the boys off that were carrying niggles and knocks on Tuesday, so we're in a fairly decent place. Might be 1 or 2 players light in the bench, which might open that up for a Cody and a Danny Wilson to come back in a wee bit earlier than scheduled, to be fair. I'd imagine Danny will return to full training in terms of the 100% of the session on Monday, Tuesday. He's off the Wednesday anyway, so Danny knows the game. So Big Cody and Danny are probably the 2 that will drop out, all going well, but as I say, there's a wee bit of flu running about and it was a personal problem. So you just need to look after that family wise. Everybody sometimes forgets, not just the player, they've got families, they've got kids, so you've got to look at that also.
No worries, thanks for your time.